Okay, this is a bit of a cheeky one. If you've been sad or lonely in the last 5 years, chances are is that you've probably been on Tinder, or at least one of its competitors. These frictionless dating apps have become the standard for courtship among young people, but there's something funny going on here. Just look at the tagline of Hinge. Designed to be deleted. What kind of app-based business deliberately tries to lower its users' retention? Seems fishy to me. And if you've been a fan of my channel for a while, you should know that when things don't make sense at first, there has to be some hidden psychological bullshit that they're not telling you. So that's the purpose of today's video. Welcome back to Pete's Behavioral Insights and Theories, aka PetesBITS. Subscribe for free down below if you haven't already, and let's talk about the psychology of Tinder. So in order to understand why Tinder and its competitors have become so dominant in the online dating market, we need to break down the psychology of how they work into 3 simple steps. First thing to understand is, why is Tinder rewarding? What is it about this swipe left, swipe right style of dating that makes Tinder so enjoyable for people to use in the first place? The second thing to uncover is what makes these apps so addictive. Why do people keep coming back again and again and again, even though the self-confessed goal of these apps is that they're designed to be deleted? And the third and final step, and what is perhaps the most evil but also the most genius part about the psychology of Tinder, is why their users are never satisfied. Why they keep wanting more and more matches. Step 1. Why is Tinder rewarding? This might not come as a surprise to you, but seeing potential sexual partners is an incredibly rewarding experience. I could bore you with all kinds of complicated neuroscience here, but basically all you need to know is that this part of the brain is associated with rewards, and when you see attractive faces and potential sexual partners, it gets activated. From an evolutionary psychology point of view, this makes a lot of sense. In the olden days, sexual opportunities were very rare. And so to compensate for this rarity, we have a biological overcompensation to make these opportunities incredibly rewarding within our brain. The problem is that our brain isn't designed to be presented with an enormous flood of sexual opportunities, which is exactly what Tinder does. Tinder takes this rewarding mechanism of seeing potential sexual partners and takes that mechanism into overdrive. When you start using Tinder and you're swiping through all of those potential matches, the rewarding experience in your brain is enormous. But that leads us on to step 2. Why is it so addictive? You see, just being rewarding isn't enough to be successful, because over time, those rewards become predictable and then become no longer rewarding. So what makes Tinder so damn addictive? It's the unpredictability of it. A really important lesson from psychological research is that unpredictable rewards are far more rewarding than predictable ones. They give a much bigger dopamine response. That's the reward hormone. You can think of how a slot machine works in a casino. What keeps people cranking that handle again and again and again? It's the rush of winning. If slot machines were predictable, say you were guaranteed to win every 10 cranks, it wouldn't be any fun. But it's the uncertainty that does it. That's why they're so popular. Tinder works in exactly the same way. You're swiping left, you're swiping right, and you have no idea which profile has liked you back and which one could be a match. You also don't know when you log into Tinder, if there's going to be any new matches. But after you log in, if there are new matches, boom, huge dopamine response because it's that unpredictability. So it rewards users for coming back frequently and checking. You see, it's that uncertainty, that unpredictability of matches that is at the core of how Tinder functions that makes it so darn addictive. But why are we never satisfied? So you get your match, maybe you're lucky enough to go on a date. Why is it so hard for us to be satisfied with our choice? The answer lies in one of the most fundamental concepts in behavioral science, and that is choice overload. The principle basically is this: when we have too many choices, we end up feeling more dissatisfied with whatever we choose, and we're also less likely to make a decision. There was a very famous study about this, about jams in the supermarket. In this experiment, the authors were selling jams in the supermarket on 2 different days. On one day, they had a big selection of 24 different jams, and then they measured the sales. On the next day, they changed the selection to only 6 varieties of jam, and then they measured the sales again. And guess what they found? Well, as you might have figured out, people were much more likely to buy jams when there were only 6 options versus 24. And just how much more likely were they to buy those jams? Not twice, not 3 times, but they were 10 times more likely to buy jams when there were only 6 options versus 24. And the lesson to learn from that is that less choice leads to more decisions. Now replace the jams with Tinder profiles and you can see the point that I'm trying to make here. Tinder places so many potential sexual partners at your fingertips that it becomes extremely hard to feel satisfied with whatever your eventual choice becomes. And that shadow of doubt keeps people uncertain about their choice and keeps their users coming back again and again and again. If you want my advice, once you find somebody that you get on well with, delete the app and forget everybody that was on there and just be happy with your life. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Tinder takes this rewarding mechanism of seeing